Welcome to Operation Fishing Freedom. I'm Jay Garstecki. Join me in the boat today as we feature Jack Goodwin, a veteran who spent over 3 years as a prisoner of war during the Korean War.
Military veterans protect our great nation. Pro anglers Jay Garstecki and Ben Olson made it their duty to honor our heroes. They want to share soldiers' stories. The perfect place to carry out this mission? A fishing boat. Get ready to launch Operation Fishing Freedom. Brought to you by Great Clips.
Every good story begins with a character.
Ready to go fishing?
Ready.
Today in Texas, we meet a character and then some.
How's that feel?
Pretty good.
Pretty good? Tight enough?
Hope I don't have to use it.
I hope you don't either. Ready to catch some fish, huh?
Storytelling takes place on the water.
What kind of fish? What kind of fish you gonna catch here?
Some big ones. That's what I want to catch.
There's some big ones in here.
Yeah, that's what I hear. What do you think of the boat?
Pretty good size.
300 horsepower EVINRUDE on it.
Veteran Jack Goodwin's story needs to be told, all 88 years of it. Jack, born and raised in Waco, Texas, found himself on the front lines of the Korean War at only 19 years old. But today, the tale wraps around our boat, the fishing, and Jack.
I left home when I was 14, so
Really?
I never had no. I was never no kid. I started selling Saturday Evening Post when I was about 8 years old.
Jack's story of survival starts at a young age.
I didn't get along with my old man, so he drank too much, and I left.
Jack left school in the 8th grade. Armed with a 14-year-old's determination, he joined a traveling roadshow selling voodoo medicine.
And he made a salve and a medicine that you took by a spoonful, you know, and probably have 90% alcohol. But he traveled all over the little towns, and they put on little skits to show.
Yeah?
And sell that medicine. So.
Really? That's how they sold medicine?
Yeah.
Jack eventually moved on to other jobs.
Went on Carnival for a year.
Carnival?
Yeah.
What'd you do for the carnival?
I was a carny. I worked at a candy factory and a pickle factory. So.
Pickle factories?
Mm.
I didn't even know they had those.
How do you think them pickles get in them jars?
Jack met Violet and asked her to marry him. She said yes. Then, suddenly, Jack's story took a turn.
There was 3 of us boys, which I would join the service. So it was right after World War II, and all the guys, you know, they're talking about the war and all that stuff. So, and there wasn't any jobs for it. So I joined, and I went to Fort Ord, California. Weapons, soldier, infantry. Yeah. You didn't have much of a choice.
No?
Yeah.
They told you what you were going to do.
Yeah. But then I got on a ship, went to Japan.
Jack trained in Japan for 2 years. In June of 1950, North Korean troops crossed the 38th parallel and invaded South Korea. 2 days later, the United States joined the war.
And they said, everybody pack up, we're leaving, we're going to Korea.
This story might sound a bit familiar.
Then they said, gather everything up and put your name and address on it, because we're moving out.
Sometime back, we met Darrell Krenz, a Wisconsin kid who also went right to the front line of the war.
And we didn't even know why.
Where's Korea? We don't know. We're on bivouac. We're out here. We're training. We don't want to know where Korea is. But I found out for Korea.
Their stories share a core theme, that of survival.
When we got off the boats, they said, prepare yourself for some combat.
When we were going up on the train, there's another train going this way, full of South Korean soldiers. And they were sticking out the window. They was on top of this train, and every one of them were bandaged up, you know. You knew right there something bad fixing to happen.
Operation Fishing Freedom is brought to you by Great Clips, Recon Boats, and by EVINRUDE Outboards.
If you'd like to get some cool Operation Fishing Freedom gear,
Or simply make a donation so that we can take more veterans fishing.
log on to our website, operationfishingfreedom.com.
I feel something.
You got one?
Yeah.
You got one. Reel her in. Hey, nice fish.
Good days on water look like this.
There we go.
Jack
Look at
Goodwin understands.
A white bass.
White bass. We're gonna let her go?
Go ahead, yeah.
All right.
You can give her freedom.
Freedom, a cherished word to this 88-year-old veteran.
Good work.
At 19 years old, Jack fought on the front line of the Korean War. On July 4th, 1950, the enemy surrounded Jack's squad.
We couldn't handle our support because overcast. They had 30-some-odd tanks come up the road, and they just come right around us, start shooting us from backside. First round from one of them tanks, and my foxhole about that deep, that rock. It's hard to dig. Of course, we just digged that night, see. And I had this raincoat over my thing, and I looked out and I seen this tank fired this shot and hit about 10, 15 feet from me. And I ducked down and it just rained dirt and mud and stuff for a long time. Lucky I didn't get hit, so. Well, the lieutenant put me up front, and I went up front with another 2 or 3 hours on. We all had to leave then, so. Like I say, 150 got killed on the hill there. A lot of good guys. They hit us the morning of the 5th, and I got captured the morning of the 6th.
Wow.
So my war didn't last long.
No, huh?
Jack became one of the conflict's very first prisoners of war.
Do you remember how you got captured?
Yeah. We got off the hill and marched all day, and it's about 100 of us, and the officer in charge, and it said, well, we got this town, and the town was vacant. You know, everybody moved out. So we all got in different houses, laid down, went to sleep. When we woke up, everybody's gone except us. And as it does that, we got captured.
And how old were you?
19. I was 20 the next day.
The enemy sent Jack to Pyongyang, the capital of North Korea.
When America started coming up, catching up, then they put us on a train and we went to another town called Mompo.
Jack and the other POWs struggled in a pure survival mode.
They put us in a place we call it the cornfield. And it's freezing, and we spent 2 or 3 days in that cornfield at night. And everybody get in a huddle. If you're on the outskirts, going to die, if we froze to death. Then a guy came, took us over, and we started marching.
The POWs nicknamed the officer the Tiger. The grim trek forced on the POWs would later become known as the Tiger Death March.
Get us know that he meant business. When we started walking, everybody started falling back because a lot of guys didn't have no clothes, a lot of guys didn't have no damn shoes. You know, a lot of guys were wounded.
Sure.
And people started falling out, saying he got mad because everybody wasn't keeping up. And he pulled his lieutenant aside and shot him in the head.
Really?
And then we were on for 10 days, and if you fell out, you got shot.
Jack marched through snow-covered mountains in brutal weather.
We were all weak, see?
Right, you hadn't eaten, right?
Yeah, we was all starved to death anyway. And then they had to walk all this way. There's snow on the ground. We were in the damn mountains. It was all uphill. Well, I was captured July, I weighed 120, and in Christmas I weighed 63.
So you lost half of your body weight.
Yeah, everybody did. Yeah. You didn't know whether you could be alive next day or not.
Right.
You wake up and your buddy beside you be dead. See?
On that death march was like 400 miles, actually.
Darrell Krenz recollects the very same nightmare. He suffered exactly as Jack did. Neither Darrell nor Jack knew life would someday bring them back together. Hang tight. That story is coming up.
Operation Fishing Freedom is brought to you by Great Clips, SKB Cases, and by St. Croix Rods.
I used to go fishing, and I see all these guys playing golf. I said, look at them idiots playing golf. Then I started playing golf. I said, look at the idiots going fishing.
If you'd like to see more behind-the-scenes footage and bonus content,
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. If you're a U.S. military veteran living in Illinois, Wisconsin, or Minnesota,
log on to takeavetfishing.org to find an event near you.
oh no, that's
The tug of a fish,
looks like a smallmouth.
a tactile moment.
That's why he fought so hard. It was a good smallmouth bass.
Yeah.
So real, so profound. Especially for 88-year-old United States Army veteran Jack Goodwin.
Wow, that's a pretty fish, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty smallmouth.
It looked good in the aquarium.
Jack's story is one of survival, literally having just clung to life on a grueling 9-day march, a death march at gunpoint. The Korean officer who led the death march earned the nickname the Tiger.
She fell out, she died, see, or got shot. So in that 10 days, we had 89 guys that were shot, and tried to froze to death.
The enemy transferred surviving POWs to a Chinese camp. Communist captors forced the prisoners to study enemy propaganda.
Brainwashing.
Yeah?
Yeah, they sit there and tell you all about
Communist regime?
Yeah, what good they are and what bad we are, you know.
The Chinese turned over Jack after 3 years and 2 months in captivity. Frail and void of much life, Jack came home.
Oh, I was a mess, man. And I then had to go to the hospital. And I had to get all them damn worms out of me.
But he had more inspiration for the future. Jack began by marrying the love of his life. Together, Violet and Jack started a small fish business. Violet worked in front, and Jack worked in back.
How did you pick the fish business? What made you want to do that?
Well, because I was a nervous wreck when I got out, and they said that'll calm your nerves.
Oh, yeah?
And,
Did it work?
well, 54 years later, I'm still here.
Right?
So.
I'm very proud of my dad, and I like bragging about his accomplishments because he came from a lot of nothing and is where he's at now. And it took a lot of hard work and to get here. But he also married a good woman that kept him in line.
In sickness and in health, a stroke crippled Violet in 1992. Jack cared for her just as she had done for him after the war.
She's been dead a little over 4 years now. For 22 years, I took care of her. I'm more proud of that than I am anything else. And we were married 61 years. She's my gal.
This is a fishing shirt for you. It's got your name on there, Jack Goodwin, and Operation Fishing Freedom, and Goodwin on the back there. And this will help you catch some fish.
Yeah, sure will.
And in addition to that, it says here, in appreciation for your sacrifice and service, Jack Goodwin, your name's on there, and it's got all the branches of service listed there. That's for you. It was made by Angry Bear Custom Rods, and that's a St. Croix rod, so thank you so much for your service.
Now I got a fishing pole.
Surviving soldiers now attend reunions thanks to an old address book Jack kept during his last days in captivity. He asked each man to write their address.
On the death march was over 800 guys.
Darrell Krenz remembers writing his info in that little book.
Now there's 32 of us left out of that 800 some.
We documented Darrell's story for Operation Fishing Freedom. After it aired, Jack's family brainstormed an idea.
It was hard to keep a secret. It was very hard. And so, but I was very excited. I was very excited because I knew what was coming, and I knew Dad would be excited about it.
What better way to celebrate the courage of two men?
I know I'll have a terror.
Reunion can be a powerful tool.
I'll be damned. Ah, damn, Darrell.
This week's nonprofit of the week, the National League of POW MIA Families. Their mission is to obtain the release of all prisoners and recover all remains of those who died serving our nation during war. Go to their website for more information.
If you'd like to personally thank a vet that you saw in one of our episodes,
Or nominate a veteran to be featured in a future episode,
log on to our website, operationfishingfreedom.com.
Operation Fishing Freedom is brought to you by Ram Trucks, Power Pole, and by Temple Bay Lodge.
We were the first one captured, but there was hundreds, thousands captured after we were.
Jack Goodwin's and Darrell Krenz's story is one for the history books.
That's when I said goodbye to my family and said, that's it, you know.
Both Korean POWs survived the war's deadly Tiger Death March. Over the years, both attended reunions.
When was the last time?
Oh, I don't remember. Probably 10 years ago, 15 years ago. Well, it was a long time ago.
Time heals. Perhaps.
I'll be damned. Ah, damn, Darrell, what the hell?
My goodness.
Oh. Oh, boy, nice to see you. We're talking about you.
Back when Darrell's show first aired, Jack and his daughter happened to tune in.
I answered the phone, it was your daughter, and she said that my dad's sitting here watching the episode with Darrell Krenz, and he was a prisoner with Darrell.
Jack's family, along with Darrell's help, very secretly planned a most special reunion.
Flew in yesterday so that he could be here for you today.
My buddy.
Oh, God, bring back memories.
To just back away and let these two soldiers reunite.
Those are old Task Force Smith guys.
Purely a profound moment.
I'm right here. I'm the little guy in front.
I don't know how we ever survived. I look back now.
It's a miracle we even got out of that damn place, you know. The cornfield was hell.
Yeah.
Oh, man. We're freezing to death, man.
My sergeant, he died that night. I poked him up and we're living in a cornfield and it was so cold. And I said, wake up. He was gone.
Memories 65 years old, but still so clear, especially the days both men left captivity.
Jack Goodwin starved.
Oh, 63 pounds?
63 pounds.
Yeah.
You were in good shape.
Well, we all lost our horse. You go out and go down, the wind blow you down, or you get stuck in the mud.
Yeah.
People can't believe that stuff, see? Like I told them, I said, people say, well, what was you talking about? I said, people wouldn't believe you when you told them.
No. They don't believe much. You went back to Korea, didn't you?
I went back twice.
Both men traveled back to Korea to face old memories.
This is when I went back 216. That's the mayor of Losan there. He's giving me this plaque here. I just gave him a book. Of course, it's altogether different. It's like New York City over there now.
I know.
What's it feel like to be back together again after all these years?
Come on, buddy. I tell you this, we could tell you all day what we went through, but it still wouldn't get to the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
Well, every day, you didn't know the next day if you were going to be alive or not.
Our story of Jack now told.
Well, thank you both for your service. I really do appreciate you
Oh, boy.
sharing your story with us. Darrell, thank you.
A story of service, of sacrifice, and friendship. A story never forgotten.
If you'd like to thank the veteran that you saw in today's episode, log on to OperationFishingFreedom.com and click on the Thank a Vet button. We'll make sure they get your message.